conference room felt like a funeral parlour, all fake sympathy and hollow words. 8 years of dedication ended in a 15-minute meeting with HR droning about restructuring and market conditions while my world imploded. I sat there, numb, as they slid the separation papers across the polished table. My name is Scarlett, and at 32 I never expected to be escorted out of the building I practically lived in, clutching a cardboard box of desk plants and family photos. "We'll need your badge," Sarah from HR said, avoiding eye contact. We'd had lunch together last week. The rain started as I reached my car, because of course it did. My phone buzzed twice. The first message was about my severance package, surprisingly generous. The second made my heart skip. A job offer from a London tech firm I'd interviewed with months ago, triple my current salary, full relocation support. I drove home in a daze, rehearsing how to tell Lance. My husband could be volatile about money, but surely he'd understand. We could make this work, maybe even turn it into an adventure. The driveway was unusually full when I pulled up. Lance's car, his mother Lena's Mercedes, and, my stomach dropped, our family lawyer's sedan. Paisley, my 6-year-old, was nowhere in sight when I walked in. Instead, Lance and Lena sat at our kitchen table, faces set like stone. "Where's Paisley?" I asked, water dripping from my coat. "With the neighbour," Lance said flatly. "We need to talk." Lena's perfectly manicured hand pushed a document toward me. "You've become a liability, Scarlett. Lance deserves better than an unemployed burden." My fingers trembled as I scanned the papers. Separation agreement, already filled out, dated 3 days ago. "You knew," I whispered, looking at Lance. "You knew about the layoffs?" He wouldn't meet my eyes. "My college friend in HR gave me a heads up last week. And instead of warning me, you did this?" I gestured at the papers, my voice rising. "Behind my back," Lena cut in. "A woman who can't provide for her family has no place—" "Stop," I held up my hand. "Lance, look at me. 8 years of marriage and you conspire with your mother instead of talking to your wife?" "There's nothing to discuss," he said, finally meeting my gaze with cold eyes I barely recognized. "You have 2 hours to pack essentials for you and Paisley. The rest can be arranged through lawyers." "You're throwing us out? In the rain?" My laugh was hollow. "Where exactly do you expect us to go?" "That's not our concern," Lena said smoothly. "You should have planned better." I stood there, rain still dripping from my coat, creating a puddle on their precious hardwood floor. A strange calm settled over me as I looked at these strangers wearing familiar faces. "I'll get Paisley," I said quietly. "Don't make this difficult," Lance warned. I walked to the neighbour's house, my mind racing. The London offer felt like a lifeline now. My phone was already open to my lawyer's contact. Paisley ran to me when I entered, her small arms wrapping around my waist. "Mommy! Mrs. Wilson let me play with her kittens." "That's wonderful, baby," I managed, stroking her hair. "Listen, we're going on a little trip, okay? Just you and me. Can you be my brave girl and help pack some things?" Her big brown eyes studied my face. "Is Daddy coming?" "No, sweetheart, not this time." Back at the house, Lance and Lena watched like vultures as I packed 2 suitcases. Paisley, confused but quiet, clutched her favourite stuffed unicorn. "The papers," Lance reminded me at the door. I turned, rain pelting my back. "You'll get them, through my lawyer." "Don't be dramatic," Lena scoffed. "You're hardly in a position to—" "To what? Fight back? Watch me." I took Paisley's hand and walked out into the storm, not looking back. In the car, I buckled her in and kissed her forehead, promising everything would be okay. My phone buzzed again as I started the engine. A text from my lawyer. "Emergency consultation confirmed for 8 a.m. tomorrow. We'll make them regret this." I looked at our house one last time, at the window where Lance stood watching. He thought he was burying me, but I've always been good at growing through dirt. "Mommy!" Paisley's small voice came from the back seat. "Where are we going?" I met her eyes in the rearview mirror and managed a real smile. "On an adventure, baby, a big one." As I pulled away, I already knew. Sometimes the worst day of your life becomes the first day of your best revenge. London greeted us with unexpected sunshine 3 weeks after Lance's ambush. Standing in our empty flat, watching Paisley press her nose against the window overlooking the Thames, I felt the first real breath of freedom since that rainy night. "Look, Mommy! The big wheel is turning." She pointed at the London Eye in the distance. "We'll ride it soon," I promised, unpacking our meagre belongings. 2 suitcases held what remained of our American life. Everything else was in storage or left behind in what used to be home. A knock at the door made me jump. Old anxieties die hard. "Hello, neighbour." A woman with wild red curls and a warm smile stood there holding a casserole dish. "I'm Daisy from 4B. Thought you might need a proper welcome." Thank you." The simple kindness nearly broke me. "I'm Scarlett, and this is Paisley." "Brilliant to meet you both, and listen, I've got a daughter about your age," she said to Paisley. "Emma's dying to show someone her Harry Potter collection." Paisley's eyes lit up. "Can I, Mum? Please?" After checking Daisy's flat and meeting 8-year-old Emma, I left Paisley for a playdate and headed to my first day at Horizon Tech. The lobby was all glass and light, nothing like my old office's fluorescent depression. "Scarlett," a tall man with kind eyes approached. "I'm Harlan. Welcome to London." My new boss led me through the office, introducing me to the team. No fake smiles here, no political undercurrents, just genuine enthusiasm and respect. "Your reputation precedes you," Harlan said as we reached my office. My actual office with a door and everything. "That project management system you developed, brilliant stuff." I swallowed hard. My old company didn't think so. Their loss, our gain. He paused. "Listen, I know the move wasn't just career motivated. If you need anything—" "I appreciate that," I cut in, not ready for sympathy. "But I'd rather focus on work." The day flew by in a blur of meetings and introductions. When I checked my phone at lunch, there was a missed call from Deacon, my lawyer. "Lance is contesting the divorce terms," he said when I called back. "Claims you abandoned the marriage by taking the London job." I laughed bitterly. "After he threw us out?" "Don't worry, I've got documentation of everything, including texts from his mother planning the ambush days in advance. Keep recording all contact attempts." That evening, Daisy insisted we join her and Emma for dinner. Over wine and shepherd's pie, while the girls played, she listened to my story without judgment. "Men like that," she said, refilling my glass, "they think they're burying us, but they forget we're seeds." My phone buzzed. A FaceTime call from Paisley's iPad to Lance's phone. My stomach clenched. "Baby," I called. "Daddy's calling." Paisley came running, then stopped. "Do I have to?" "Only if you want to." She climbed into my lap instead. "Can we call tomorrow? I'm playing with Emma." I texted Lance. "Paisley's busy. She'll call when she's ready." His response was immediate. "You can't keep my daughter from me." "You mean like you kept her from me that night?" I typed back, then deleted it. Everything through lawyers now. Later, tucking Paisley into her new bed, I noticed tears in her eyes. "What's wrong, sweetheart?" "Does Daddy hate us now?" My heart shattered. "No, baby, Daddy's just made some bad choices, but you did nothing wrong." "Then why did he let Grandma Lena be mean to you?" I held her close, breathing in her strawberry shampoo. "Sometimes grown-ups forget how to be kind, but you and me, we're going to be okay." After she fell asleep, I checked my work email one last time. My first project proposal had already been approved, with a bonus structure that made me gasp. I forwarded the details to Deacon. His response came quickly. "Perfect timing. Lance just filed financial disclosure. You now earn triple his salary. Child support calculations will be interesting." Daisy's words echoed in my head. They forget we're seeds. I opened my laptop and began documenting everything. Every missed call, every text, every moment Lance chose pride over his daughter. One day, Paisley would have questions. I'd have answers. My phone buzzed with a text from Harlan. "Team dinner tomorrow. No pressure, but you've impressed everyone today." I looked around our small flat. at Paisley's drawings already brightening the walls, at the London Eye twinkling in the distance. For the first time since that rainy night, I felt something like hope. "Count us in," I replied, then added another note to my documentation file. Day 23. We're not just surviving, we're thriving. "You're sure about the timing?" I asked Deacon over video call, watching him shuffle through papers in his North Carolina office. "Trust me," he smiled, all southern charm masking steel. "Lance's annual neighbourhood barbecue is this Saturday. The divorce papers will arrive right as his precious social circle gathers." I shouldn't have felt satisfaction at that, but I did. 2 months in London had hardened something in me. "What about Paisley's college fund?" I asked, remembering the main reason for our call. "Working on getting those bank records now. If he touched that money—" A notification popped up on my screen, an email from Lance's lawyer demanding immediate contact regarding urgent custody matters. "Speaking of your ex," Deacon drawled, "seems he's getting nervous. Good." After the call, I walked to Paisley's school, my heels clicking against London cobblestones. She burst out of the gates, waving a painting. "Mum, I made this in art!" She proudly displayed a family portrait, just the two of us standing in front of the London Eye. "It's beautiful, baby." I hugged her close, noting the absence of Lance in her artwork. "How about ice cream?" At our favourite shop, my phone exploded with texts from an unknown number. Photos started loading. My old house decorated for a party, Lance grinning with his arm around a blonde woman I didn't recognise. "Thought you should see what you're missing," the message read. "Savannah's a real mother to Paisley, unlike you." I nearly dropped my phone. Lena. Had to be. "Mommy, your ice cream's melting." I forced a smile for Paisley, but my hands shook as I forwarded the messages to Deacon. That evening, after Paisley was asleep, Daisy came over with wine and righteous anger. "He moved another woman in already?" She scrolled through the photos. "Wait, I know her. Savannah works in finance. My company denied her loan application last month due to unstable employment history." I grabbed my laptop, documenting everything. "Tell me more." The next morning, my phone lit up with messages from North Carolina. Lance's barbecue had gone exactly as planned. "You should have seen it," read a text from my old neighbour. "Process server walked right up during his welcome speech. Lena nearly fainted." Videos started appearing in local Facebook groups. Lance, red-faced, snatching papers. Savannah screaming at the server. Lena trying to salvage the situation with nervous laughter. "How dare you!" Lance's voice crackled through my speaker when he called. "You deliberately humiliated me." Funny," I replied calmly. "That's exactly how Paisley and I felt that night in the rain." "I want to talk to my daughter." "Through the court-appointed supervisor only, you know that." He hung up. Minutes later, a message arrived from an unexpected source. Oakley, Lance's estranged sister. "Been watching this shit show from afar," she wrote. "Time we talked." We connected on video call during my lunch break. Oakley looked exactly as I remembered. Lance's features, but softer, kinder. "First," she said, "I'm sorry I wasn't there that night. Mum and Lance, they've always been toxic together. You couldn't have stopped it." "No, but I can help now." She leaned closer to the camera. "You need to know something. Savannah? She's been around longer than you think." My stomach dropped. "How long?" "At least a year. Mum introduced them at church, knowing exactly what she was doing." I thought of all those late nights Lance claimed to be working, all those church events with his mother I wasn't invited to. "There's more," Oakley continued. "They're telling everyone you abandoned Paisley, that Savannah's been saving her. Mum's even talking about filing for grandparent rights." "Let them try." I forwarded her Deacon's contact. "Would you be willing to make a statement?" Already drafting it. "Oh, and Scarlett, check Savannah's Instagram, public profile, lots of interesting posts about being a bonus mum to Paisley, dated well before your layoff." After we hung up, I dove into social media. There it was. Months of photos, captions about family and God's plan, all while I was still living in that house. My phone buzzed with an update from Deacon. Bank records came through. Lance withdrew from Paisley's college fund last month, $25,000. I closed my eyes, letting the rage wash through me. What's our next move? Criminal charges for the account withdrawal, custody modification based on new evidence, and... I could hear his smile. A little press coverage about a successful tech executive fighting international parental alienation. Should make interesting reading in your old hometown. That night, I added to my documentation file. They thought they were writing the ending to my story. They didn't realise they were only setting up my beginning. Paisley padded into my room, clutching her unicorn. Can I sleep here? I lifted the covers, always. As she snuggled close, I made a silent promise. They wouldn't write our story. We would. The North Carolina courthouse hadn't changed, but I had. 3 months in London had given me armour, a Burberry coat, Jimmy Choo heels, and the quiet confidence of someone who doubled their income. Ready? Oakley squeezed my hand as we walked in. She picked us up from the airport at dawn, dark circles under her eyes matching mine. Born ready. I adjusted Paisley's coat. Remember what we practiced, sweetheart? Only talk to the special lady judge, Paisley recited, not Daddy or Grandma Lena. The courtroom doors opened. Lance's face went from smug to shocked when he saw us. Savannah, sitting too close to him, whispered something in his ear. Approaching the bench, Deacon announced smoothly. Your Honour, my client has flown in from London specifically to address these custody concerns. Lance's lawyer jumped up. Your Honour, we had no notice. Actually, Deacon smiled, notice was properly served. Not our fault if your client was too busy posting on social media to check his legal mail. The judge, a stern woman in her 60s, peered at Lance. Proceed. We have evidence, Deacon continued, of systematic parental alienation, financial misconduct and... He paused dramatically. An inappropriate relationship that predates my client's dismissal from the marital home. Lena's sharp intake of breath echoed through the courtroom. Furthermore, Deacon handed over a thick folder, we have documented proof that Mr. Blake and his companion have been publicly claiming parental rights over the minor child without legal standing. The judge flipped through the social media posts, her expression darkening. Ms. Savannah Roberts, you've been presenting yourself as this child's mother? Savannah stood, smoothing her too-tight dress. I've been more of a mother than... Sit down, the judge snapped. Mr. Blake, care to explain these photos dated months before your separation? Lance tugged at his collar. Your Honour, And these bank withdrawals from your daughter's education fund? I can explain. I'm sure you can. The judge turned to me. Ms. Scarlett, your daughter's counsellor has submitted a report. Would you be comfortable with her speaking to me privately? Of course, Your Honour. Paisley squeezed my hand before following the bailiff. Through the window, I watched Lance try to catch her eye. She walked past him like he was invisible. She gets that steel from you, Oakley whispered. 20 minutes later, Paisley returned. The judge's face had softened. Given the evidence presented and my conversation with the minor child, I'm granting the plaintiff's motion for modified custody. Ms. Scarlett will retain primary custody with full international travel rights. Mr. Blake's visitation will be supervised until completion of parenting classes and psychological evaluation. Lance shot up. You can't. I can and I am. Furthermore, you will repay the education fund within 30 days or face contempt charges. Outside the courtroom, Lena cornered us. You vindictive little... Choose your next words carefully, Mother. Oakley stepped between us. I've got plenty more stories to tell. Lena's face crumpled. Oakley, you'd betray your own brother? Like he betrayed his daughter? Oakley's laugh was bitter. Like you betrayed every promise you made when you took those grandmother vows at church? Mommy? Paisley tugged my sleeve. Can we go? I saw Daddy looking at us. I scooped her up, her face burrowing into my neck. Lance stood at the end of the hallway, Savannah nowhere in sight. Paisley, he called. Princess, please. She tightened her grip on me. I want to go home. You heard her, I said, walking past him. In the car, Paisley's tears finally came. I held her in the back seat while Oakley drove us to the airport. He didn't even say sorry, Paisley hiccuped. Daddy didn't say sorry for being mean to you. Some people, Oakley said gently, don't know how to say sorry because they never learned they could be wrong. Back at the airport terminal, Oakley hugged us both. I'm coming to London next month, already booked the tickets. You're always welcome, I said. We've got plenty of room. Unlike some people, she smiled, I know who my real family is. On the plane, Paisley fell asleep clutching her unicorn. My phone buzzed with a message from Deacon. Local paper wants to run a story. Tech executive wins international custody battle. Interested. I looked at my daughter's peaceful face, thought of Lance's social media, perfect life crumbling, and typed back, let them run it, it's time everyone knew the truth. Another message popped up, this one from Harlan. Team's missing you, hope everything went well. Better than well, I replied, we're coming home. Because that's what London had become, home. Not because it was perfect, but because it was ours. A place where we could heal, grow, and most importantly, write our own story. Paisley stirred. Are we almost home, Mummy? Almost, baby. I kissed her forehead. Almost home. So, how does it feel to talk about all this? Dr. Sarah asked, her office overlooking a rainy London afternoon. 5 months after leaving North Carolina, I'd finally started therapy. Like pulling teeth, I admitted. But Paisley's doing better since she started, so I figured, monkey see, monkey do. She smiled. Speaking of which, how's she handling the custody arrangement? Lance missed his 3rd supervised visit last week, said he had work commitments. I twisted my empty ring finger. The supervisor said Paisley seemed relieved. My phone buzzed. Daisy's daily check-in. Drinks tonight. Emma's begging for a sleepover with Paisley. Go, Dr. Sarah encouraged, noting my smile. Building a support system is crucial. Later that evening, at our favourite pub, Daisy dropped a bombshell. Lance's insurance firm is hemorrhaging clients. Apparently someone's been sharing screenshots of his social media rants about international custody laws. I sipped my wine innocently. How unfortunate. You brilliant witch, she grinned. Oh, and Savannah? Her loan application crossed my desk again. Denied. Seems she's between jobs. Again. My phone lit up with Harlan's name. Speaking of jobs. Hey, his warm voice filled the line. Free for dinner tomorrow. Need to discuss the Singapore project. My heart did that annoying flutter it had started doing around him. Just me or the whole team? Just you. A pause. Unless that's not okay. No, it's okay. More than okay. Daisy waggled her eyebrows as I hung up. Your boss is fit and clearly interested. It's complicated, only because you're making it complicated. She leaned forward. Lance doesn't get to ruin all your future relationships. Before I could respond, an email notification popped up. Lance's child support payment was late. Again. Speaking of my charming ex, I forwarded the notice to Deacon. He's playing games with money now. Good thing you don't need it, Daisy said. That promotion last month probably equals his yearly salary. The next evening, over dinner with Harlan at a quiet Thai place, I found myself relaxing for the first time in months. Your proposal for the Singapore expansion was brilliant, he said, pouring more wine. The board's impressed. Thanks for taking a chance on me. Scarlett, he set down his glass, you're the best hire I've made in years, and not just professionally. My phone rang. Paisley's special ringtone. Sorry, I have to... Of course, he smiled. Always take that call. Mommy? Paisley's voice was small. I had a bad dream about Daddy. Want me to come home, baby? No, Emma's helping. We're building a blanket fort. I just wanted to hear your voice. After hanging up, I found Harlan watching me with understanding eyes. Rain check? He asked gently. I'm sorry, Don't be. She comes first, always. The next morning, Deacon's email was waiting. Lance claims financial hardship due to malicious business interference, requesting reduced support payments. I forwarded him Lance's recent social media posts. Expensive restaurants, a new car, vacation plans with Savannah. Funny definition of hardship, I wrote. Deacon's response was immediate. Leave it to me. By the way, that newspaper article, it's making waves. His firm's partners are asking questions. At work, I buried myself in the Singapore project until Daisy's urgent text pulled me up. Check your email now. There it was, a local North Carolina Business Journal article. Regional insurance firm faces ethics investigation. Partner's personal conduct under scrutiny. Below that, another email from an unknown sender. My finger hovered over it before clicking. Scarlett, it's Oakley. Mum's having a meltdown. The country club rescinded her membership after that article came out. She's blaming everyone but herself, obviously. Lance moved in with her since Savannah left. Apparently, she got tired of the drama and his money issues. Karma's working overtime here. That evening, watching Paisley and Emma perform a living room dance recital, Harlan's words echoed in my head. She comes first, always. My phone buzzed with his message. No pressure, but if you'd like to try dinner again. Yes, I typed back, but this time let's make it family style. Paisley's been asking about that pizza place by the eye. His response made me smile. Perfect. I make an excellent pizza critic. Later, tucking Paisley in, she asked, Mummy, are you happy now? I thought about Lance's crumbling facade, about Harlan's patient understanding, about our new life built from the ashes of the old. Yes, baby, are you? She nodded, clutching her unicorn. London's better, no more fighting. I kissed her forehead, adding another mental note to my victory list. We weren't just surviving anymore. We were living. And somewhere in North Carolina, karma was still working its magic. Miss Scarlett, my assistant's voice crackled through the intercom. There's a call from Child Protective Services in North Carolina. I nearly dropped my coffee. Put them through. Ma'am, a tired voice said, I'm calling regarding your daughter Paisley. There's been an incident at your ex-husband's supervised visitation centre. My heart stopped. Is she? Oh no, your daughter wasn't present. Mr. Blake missed the visit again, but his companion caused a disturbance. Given your custody agreement, we're required to inform you. After hanging up, I called Oakley. Already heard, she answered. Savannah showed up drunk, demanding to see her daughter. Started throwing things when they refused. Police were called. I thought she left Lance. She did, then came back when he promised to marry her. Now she's living at Mum's too. It's a regular circus over there. My other line beeped. Deacon. Tell me you're sitting down, he said when I switched over. The police report from Savannah's meltdown? Pure gold. She screamed about how Lance promised her Paisley years ago, way before your divorce. Multiple witnesses. Years ago? My voice cracked. I'm filing for immediate termination of his visitation rights. Also, remember that education fund he drained? Court ordered a lien on his assets today. I glanced at the photo on my desk. Paisley and Emma at their school play last week, both grinning in fairy costumes. Safe, happy, protected. Send everything to the judge, I said. No more chances. That evening, during our now regular family dinner with Harlan, my phone exploded with notifications. Mommy, no phones at dinner, Paisley scolded, making Harlan laugh. Sorry, baby, but... I scrolled through messages from Oakley. Oh my God! What happened? Harlan asked, concern crossing his face. Lena had a breakdown at church, started screaming about conspiracies and how I'd ruined her family. Someone recorded it. The video was already circulating. Lena, perfectly coiffed as always, standing up during service to testify about her family's persecution, then completely losing it when the pastor tried to calm her down. The devil works through career women, she shrieked in the video. She turned my son's daughter against us. The pastor's microphone cut off, but phones kept recording as she had to be escorted out. Grandma Lena's still mad? Paisley asked quietly. Harlan smoothly changed the subject. Hey, who wants to hear about the time I accidentally set off the fire alarm at Buckingham Palace? Later, after Paisley was asleep, he held me on the couch as I finally let myself shake. You're safe here, he murmured. Both of you? I know, it's just... I showed him the latest email from Lance's lawyer, demanding renewed visitation despite everything. Let them try, he said. You've built something beautiful here. They can't touch it. My phone buzzed again. Daisy this time. Turn on BBC Business News now. The television flickered to life just in time to catch the headline, Rising Tech Star Revolutionises Project Management. There I was, discussing our Singapore expansion. That's my girl. Harlan squeezed my hand. The next morning, Deacon forwarded a series of panicked emails from Lance's lawyer. The video of Lena's meltdown had reached the insurance firm's board. They're placing him on administrative leave, Deacon wrote. Something about family issues affecting company reputation. Oh, and Savannah's been charged with criminal trespassing at the visitation centre. I was drafting my response when Oakley called. Mum's being encouraged to seek treatment, she said. The church elders visited this morning. Lance is furious. Apparently this was his last chance with the firm. He's blaming everyone but himself, naturally. How predictable, I said, watching Paisley through my office window as she showed Emma around during Take Your Child to Work Day. They never think they're the problem. Speaking of problems, Oakley continued, Savannah's ex-husband contacted me. Apparently, she pulled similar stunts with his kids. He's willing to testify if needed. That afternoon, I received an unexpected email from Lance's firm's HR department asking for a statement regarding his past workplace behaviours during our marriage. Karma really is working overtime, I texted Daisy. No, she replied, you are. Karma's just enjoying the show. That evening, Paisley crawled into my lap during our bedtime reading. Mum, I saw you on TV today. Emma's whole class watched it. Oh, what did you think? She played with my hair, something she did when thinking hard. You looked strong, like a queen. You make me strong, baby. No, she said with surprising firmness. You were always strong. Daddy and Grandma Lena just didn't like it. I held her closer, breathing in her strawberry shampoo, marvelling at how wisdom could come from such a small voice. You know what? I whispered. I think you're right. The final custody hearing fell on a crisp autumn morning. Harlan squeezed my hand outside the courthouse before joining Daisy and Emma on the visitors' bench. Oakley stood beside me, steel in her spine. Ready to end this? Deacon asked, straightening his tie. Lance sat at the opposite table, alone. No Savannah, no Lena. He'd lost weight, his designer suit hanging loose. His new lawyer looked nervous. All rise, the bailiff called. Judge Matthews entered, her face stern as she reviewed the foot-high stack of documents before her. Before we begin, she said, I want to address the numerous incidents since our last hearing. Mr. Blake, your continued absence from supervised visitation is troubling. Lance's lawyer stood. Your Honour, my client's work schedule has been thoroughly documented, the judge cut in, including his termination from the insurance firm last month. Let's not waste time with excuses. I watched Lance flinch. His perfect facade was cracking. Furthermore, she continued, the incidents involving Miss Roberts and Mrs. Blake at the visitation centre are deeply concerning. Where is Mrs. Blake today? Lance's lawyer cleared his throat. Seeking treatment, Your Honour. Involuntarily, according to these reports. The judge raised an eyebrow. Now, regarding the education fund. Repaid in full, Deacon interjected smoothly, sliding forward documentation. At least there's that. Judge Matthews turned to me. Ms. Scarlett, your daughter's counsellor has submitted an updated report. Would you consent to another private conversation with Paisley? Of course, Your Honour. Paisley, who'd been sitting quietly with Emma, followed the bailiff. She walked past Lance without a glance. Princess, he called softly, please. She kept walking. The next 20 minutes stretched like years. Finally, the bailiff returned. alone. "Paisley will remain in my chambers for now," the judge announced. "What she's shared requires immediate attention. Mr. Blake, would you care to explain why your daughter says she feels unsafe in your presence?" The colour drained from Lance's face. What? She described in detail overhearing conversations between you and Ms. Roberts about replacing her real mom dating back to 2021. She also mentioned witnessing physical intimidation toward her mother the night of the separation. I closed my eyes, remembering Paisley's small face in the window that rainy night. I never, Lance stammered. "Your Honour," his lawyer tried, "children often misinterpret." "I have signed witness statements," Deacon interrupted, "from 3 neighbours present that night. Additionally, Ms. Oakley Blake wishes to testify about patterns of behaviour she witnessed." Oakley stood, her voice clear. "My brother and mother planned to ambush Scarlett for months. They discussed it at Sunday dinners right in front of Paisley. They thought she was too young to understand." "She understood perfectly," the judge said quietly. "Mr. Blake, do you realise your daughter had panic attacks before every scheduled visitation?" Lance's facade finally shattered. "This is all Scarlett's fault. She turned my daughter against me. Enough! Judge Matthews's gavel cracked like thunder. "Your daughter turned against you because of your actions, sir, not her mother's success." She shuffled papers, her decision clearly made. "Given the evidence presented and my conversation with Paisley, I'm terminating Mr. Blake's visitation rights effective immediately. Full custody remains with Miss Scarlett, including unlimited international travel rights. Mr. Blake will continue child support payments based on his highest documented income, regardless of current employment status." Lance slumped in his chair. "Furthermore," she continued, "a permanent restraining order is granted, protecting both Paisley and Miss Scarlett. Any contact must go through court-appointed channels." "Your Honour," Lance's lawyer protested weakly, "I'm not finished. Mr. Blake will undergo mandatory psychological evaluation and complete both parenting classes and anger management before any future visitation will be considered. Am I clear?" "Yes, Your Honour," Lance whispered. Paisley returned to the courtroom, running straight to me. I lifted her up, breathing in her familiar strawberry scent. "You did so well, baby," I whispered. "I just told the truth," she said, "like you taught me." Lance stood, taking a step toward us. The bailiff moved quickly between us. "Paisley," he called, "I'm your father. You can't just—" "No," Paisley said clearly, facing him for the first time. "A real daddy doesn't hurt people. He doesn't let Grandma be mean. He doesn't lie." The courtroom fell silent. "I want to go home now," she said, turning back to me. "Emma's mum promised pizza." Outside, Harlan wrapped us both in a hug while Daisy and Emma cheered. Oakley wiped tears from her eyes. "It's really over?" I asked Deacon. "It's over," he confirmed. "You won, both of you." Paisley tugged my sleeve. "Can we ride the eye tonight, to celebrate?" "Of course, baby." I looked at our unlikely family, Harlan, Daisy, Emma, Oakley, all gathered around us in support. We can do anything we want now. Because finally, truly, we were free. "Happy birthday, Mommy!" Paisley burst into my bedroom, brandishing a handmade card covered in glitter. Behind her, Harlan carried a breakfast tray, trying not to laugh as glitter rained everywhere. "Look what we made!" She thrust the card at me. The front showed 2 figures standing tall, surrounded by hearts and what looked like the London skyline. Inside, in her careful 7-year-old handwriting, "To the strongest mum in the world, love, Paisley." "And look," she pointed out my window, "it's not even raining on your birthday." London spring sunshine streamed through the glass walls of our new townhouse, catching the floating glitter specks like tiny stars. My phone buzzed, Oakley sending a video of her deplaning at Heathrow. "Ready for birthday lunch? Wait until you hear the latest drama from back home." "Drama?" Paisley asked, settling beside me with a piece of toast. "Grown-up stuff, baby. Nothing for you to worry about anymore." Harlan kissed my forehead. "I'll pick up Oakley while you two get ready." At our favourite riverside restaurant, Oakley couldn't wait to spill the news. "So," she said once Paisley was occupied with Emma at the kids' table, "Lance finally moved out of Mum's house. He's living in some studio apartment doing insurance sales over the phone." "And Lena?" I asked, though I'd stopped caring months ago. "Still in therapy, actually making progress shockingly. She asked me to tell you she's sorry, but I said that's not my message to deliver." Daisy arrived, sliding into the seat next to Oakley. "Sorry I'm late. Had to finish denying another loan application from guess who." "Savannah's still trying?" "Different last name this time. Third marriage apparently didn't stick either." I watched Paisley showing Emma something on her tablet, probably the video from her latest dance recital. No more panic attacks, no more nightmares, just a happy 7-year-old with glitter on her cheeks. "Earth to Scarlet," Harlan nudged me. "You're missing the best part of Oakley's news." "Oh, sorry." I said. Oakley grinned. "The house sold. Your old one. Lance couldn't keep up the payments after the firm fired him. Guess who bought it?" "Who?" "Remember that couple you helped when Lance's insurance company denied their claim? They got a great deal at auction. They're turning the master bedroom, the one Lena decorated, into a home daycare centre." I couldn't help laughing. "That's poetic justice," Daisy suggested. "Perfect karma," Oakley agreed. My phone lit up with a message from Deacon. "Happy birthday. BTW, Lance's appeal was denied. Custody order stands permanent." I showed the message to Harlan, who'd been quietly watching me process everything. "You okay?" he asked softly. Before I could answer, Paisley ran over. "Mum, Emma says we can have the sleepover tonight instead of tomorrow. Please?" "It's your mum's birthday," Daisy reminded her. "I know, but we want to do makeovers and watch movies and—" "Actually," I smiled, "that sounds perfect. Why don't we all come over? Birthday party at Daisy's?" "Yes!" both girls cheered. Later that evening, watching Paisley and Emma give Oakley a questionable makeup job while Daisy documented everything, I slipped out to the balcony. Harlan followed, 2 wine glasses in hand. "Penny, for your thoughts?" "Just thinking about that night in the rain," I said. "When they threw us out, I felt so broken. And now?" I looked through the window at our unlikely family, at Paisley's unguarded smile, at the ring on my finger, not a replacement for the one I'd thrown at Lance, but something new, something chosen. Now I know they didn't break me, they just showed me how strong I already was. Speaking of strength, Harlan pulled out an envelope. "Happy birthday." Inside was a newspaper clipping. "Tech innovation leader named CEO of European operations." "The board voted this morning," he said. "You start next month. But that means you'll be my boss, yes?" He grinned. "Think you can handle the power?" "Mom," Paisley called from inside, "it's cake time, and I helped decorate it." "Coming, baby." Before we went in, Harlan caught my hand. "You know what I love most about you? You didn't let bitterness win. You built something beautiful instead." Inside, surrounded by laughter and love, and yes, more glitter, I watched Paisley blow out my candles for me. "Make a wish," Emma insisted. But looking around at my daughter's joy, at Harlan's steady presence, at Oakley and Daisy's friendship, at the life we'd built from the ashes of the old one, I realised something. I didn't need to wish for anything anymore. We had everything we needed right here. And somewhere in North Carolina, in a small studio apartment, Lance was finally learning what it felt like to be the one left behind. That wasn't revenge. That was justice. And it tasted sweeter than any birthday cake ever could.